Hello and welcome. My name is John Rush. I'm a Shavlik Product Evangelist. Today I'm going to be talking about Shavlik Protect with built-in antivirus. A number of years ago, Shavlik decided to incorporate antivirus for those customers that are using agents for their patch management solution. And the reason for that, of course, is that if I'm going to install an agent for my patch management, and let's say that I have an agent out there for another antivirus tools, that means I have two agents out there running, and being able to incorporate those into one simply just makes good business sense. It allows you to not have to pay for that antivirus solution because you're already paying for the protect environment. The agent gives you that capability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create an agent and push those agents out to machines. So here I am inside Protect. And again, I'm just going to go up here to the new. This is the quickest way to create an agent. Agent policy. And from here, there's a number of things I need to identify. What, am I going to be doing any patch scanning? Am I going to do any asset scanning? But again, specifically for this conversation, threat management. Pretty straightforward. All I need to do first is make sure I enable active protection. That means we're going to start watching to see if there's any malware out there, both in execution as well as we're simply going to, we can set up tasks to run against this. A couple of different levels that we can set up. If we do on access all file types, it's going to be the most comprehensive way of looking for malware, but at the same time it's going to give us the lowest performance because we're looking at every file every time we touch it. We can also limit it to specific file types. I'm going to hit F1 here, which brings up help. And if I just slide down here a little bit, I can see things like, these types of file, exe, doc files, ppts, whatever it might be. And then finally, there's a third choice called on execute, in which we only look at a file when we actually execute it. So again, not every time it's called, but only when it's executed. And again, what this allows us to do is to set this level, so just different levels of performance. I have additional functionality that I can identify that for particular types of applications, I can either allow it or not allow it. The second thing I can do is to set up scan task. So again, maybe I want to set up a weekly scan that looks for antivirus, so a weekly virus scan. And when I do this, I'm going to be presented with the options for this particular scan task. So in this case, I'm going to do my weekly virus scan. I'm going to schedule it to happen at 1 o'clock on Sundays. I'm going to randomize it over a period of time. If I got 100 machines with agents on it, I don't want them all doing it all at the same time. So I can randomize that maybe over a 15-minute period of time. This is an important one if it's a laptop computer and it's been in a bag all night. When I come into the office and plug it in, I want it to go ahead and if I missed my scan task, go ahead and boot up and scan it then. I do give you the option, maybe wait 10 minutes, let me get my email done and so forth, because a virus scan at sometimes can have performance impact. So I can set that up. I then do the scan options, what it is I'm looking for, where I'm looking, the different threat types, the level of information that I need there. And then am I going to do any kind of rebooting when I do this process? When after allow reboots only when I needed to complete to remove a threat. So we have all that built into this scan task. Everything else deals with what it is I want to do if I find something. So for example, if it's standard malware, backdoors or rootkits or a Trojan, obviously I want to quarantine those. If it's a cookie, maybe I just want to know about that cookie. So just report it to me as part of the process. And I can identify that. So for example, if I wanted to go to this low risk potential unwanted programs, maybe this is one of those advertising things that pop up in your environment. Maybe I want to quarantine that, and so I can apply that to the one that's been selected, and I've now applied that capability. We also give the option if there are known threats in your environment, but you know that they're okay, they're low risk, they're moderate risk. We can, if we choose to, just simply say, I'd like to allow that. That's okay to let that one happen. Again, it's just a choice that you have. And then finally, the common whitelist, blacklist type of functionality where I can say, I never, ever, ever want anybody to be able to run iTunes. And so I might say iTunes.exe, just don't let it run. And I add that to my list and I can manage that. I also have the ability to always allow. So there may be some application in your environment that looks and feels like a virus to the antivirus engine, and we can say, nope, that's okay. And again, just we can have all sorts of wildcards to make it really easy to identify everything in this folder, everything with this type of name, those types of things. So I create the agent. When I save the agent, then it makes it available to me for the purposes of pushing out onto machines. The next part is, how do I get the agent onto the machine? There's a number of different ways to do this. The easiest way is if I create a new machine group, and I'm just going to use an example here. I'm going to call it, my machine for lack of a better, my lack of a better name. What this allows me to do is, let's say, for example, I'm just going to add my laptop. So I add that to my machine group. I'm going to add a credential because I am going to log on to this machine to install uh, that antivirus piece of it, the agent. And then right from here, I can click on go ahead and install, and it just asks me, which agent do I want to do? So which policy do I want to run? I've got one called laptop that I've created ahead of time. So I can push the agent that way. It takes it very easy, very quickly to push him out that way. The other way that I can push an agent out, I'm just canceling out of this, is if I go to view machines, I can push an agent out very quickly. All I have to do is, again, find the machine I'm looking for. Here's my Lenovo. I'm going to open that up. Now, I've already got an agent on this one, but I'll go through the process again. Right mouse click, go down to here where it says agents, tell it to install the agent and tell it which policy I want to install. After it's installed the agent, it's going to look something like this. So here's my agent running on my machine. And what it allows me to do is, based on the information that I've given, based on the ability I've given the agent, I'll be able to see, for example, any threats that are going on. Green is good, red is bad. System information, and then I can go down and take a look at my threats. So here's all the threat activity that's happened, any active protection. I gave the user the ability to suspend or disable. Again, this is an option that you can give. You may not want them to be able to have that capability. Here's my always allow list, so I have local ability to add and always allow. I have the ability to also add a never allow, and then anything that might be in quarantine will show up in this particular screen. There's also a manual way to install agents. There's a script capability, but again, it gives you that capability. And finally, the ability to view that information. We provide you threat event information in the form of a log. We can filter that information. We also have built in our custom report writer the ability to take a number of our threat. So we have a 7-day executive threat summary. I can take a look at that. It'll tell us everything that's going on the machine. So that's, again, it's antivirus as part of Protect. You need an agent. It only works with agents. Antivirus does not work in the agentless solution, and allows you to have an active protection going on inside of your environment from Protect. With that, I thank you for attending, and we'll talk to you soon.